Welcome to the Eagle's Nest Youth Export Incubator Season 3. In the first phase of the program, dozens of young entrepreneurs from across Zimbabwe brought their businesses to the nest. Now, these 20 have returned to the nest for another round of assessment. During this phase, the judges will review the progress each entrepreneur has made since their last visit to the nest. The selected businesses will proceed to the final round, where the 8 finalists will be chosen and rewarded with an export development package. This season of the Eagle's Nest is proudly brought to you by Zimtrade and EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, in partnership with UN Women. First in the nest tonight is Sakumi. In his first presentation,
I'm a walking example of free yourself myself. I never used to wear shorts because I was of the opinion that I'd be arrested for public indecency for obvious reasons. But yeah, me wearing shorts is an expression of freedom, and I want my brand to inspire the same feeling to all my clients. Right, on our last encounter, several recommendations were made on how best we can upscale our business and better it. And I'm here today with an update on how we've been doing so far. Right, first and foremost, you guys mentioned an opportunity for corporate branding. And I'm happy to mention that we've had a few clients ever since our previous conversation, and we've delivered on quite a sizable number of clients from Bulawayo to Harare as well, namely Abameli, which is a human rights law firm, and just recently Castrol in Harare here. For Castrol, they'd ordered these jackets here actually for, I think it was a campaign that they were doing. So they'd ordered something like 8 jackets. I think they were for some influencers that they were trying to work with. So each jacket was going for about 30 bucks. And then it had bottoms as well. So with Abameli, it's a human rights law firm that does outreach programs every week. So we're supplying them on a weekly basis, close to 30 t-shirts on a weekly basis at a price of about $5 per t-shirt. Right. And then secondly, in my previous pitch, I highlighted that we're trying to do a donation campaign under our brand where we supply clothing to underprivileged members of society. And I'm happy to announce that we partnered with Insiga Trust, which is also one of our clients. And yeah, we've managed to collect a sizable amount of donations that are quite piling up in my office. So I'm waiting for them and their calendars to know when we can start distributing those clothes and sanitary pads for that campaign. And then in conclusion, on my assessment report, we had a conversation about Deja Vu's export capability. And I'd like to say at the moment, we're not export ready, but our work with Zimtrade is trying to prepare us for export readiness. So at the moment, we're trying to make sure that we improve our quality of our products, service delivery, so that by the time we start exporting at a larger scale, we can meet the international standards that other brands that we're competing against are at. So yes, thank you so much for that.
What is that teddy bear saying?
It's saying hi.
How much does a teddy bear go for?
Graphic t-shirts are $15, and then if it's basic t-shirts with just our logo, those are $10.
Okay.
Yes.
Please pass the jacket, the black jacket.
The jacket. Mm-hmm. All right, gladly.
What's the
Deja
connection?
vu.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll explain in a few.
Yeah, deja vu, the real deja vu and the brand. What's the connection?
All right, so by definition, deja vu is a feeling of familiarity, feeling like you've been through something before.
Yeah.
So for me, it represents a manifestation.
Okay.
Putting dreams into reality, and then when they actually happen, it feels like deja vu because I've imagined it. Okay. And then when it does happen, it feels like deja vu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Plus, it's a French word, and France itself is the home of fashion. So it's my final destination of the brand. I want to take it to the home of fashion.
Do they have location life? Because that's your target market, right? Like according to your pitch.
We're trying to introduce our culture to them, in a sense. But that's not really what we're all about.
That bear is not representing our culture.
No, this one was for our younger market. Most of the items that we were doing in the past were appealing to a more mature market. they were quite minimalistic, and then there's a younger crowd that liked what we're doing, but they felt like our designs were not too expressive of who they are. You know, I'm a 2000 in a sense. So the detailed designs are more tailored for that crowd. We've got minimalistic designs also for the older crowd, like these golf t-shirts.
Okay. I can see there's Halloween even on corporate way.
I know this one is for us. On the corporate way, it's different.
Yeah,
On the
okay.
corporate way, it's different.
You said out of your own words that you're not yet export ready,
Yes.
but obviously you wanting to be incubated to go through. Have you pinpointed any places where you would be able to export your market?
Okay.
Who would be able to consume your products?
We've gotten a lot of inquiries on the European side of the world, mostly Germany and Poland, where most Zimbabwean students and younger crowds are moving towards. And then South Africa as well has been a prominent target market for us. With South Africa, we actually have a Korea company that we're working with as of recently. So we're still testing them out to see if the process is smooth enough for us to trust them with us exporting through them.
Who's your target market? I know you explained the young AMA 2000s and so forth. And then what's making them, what's the pull factor? What are you giving them? What are they looking for?
Okay, so for the most part, what we sell is that whole family thing that we have going. I'll exemplify so that you have a better understanding. We believe community builds commerce at Deja Vu Apparel. So we want everyone who's buying into us to feel like they are part of a family in a sense. So what we've been doing in the past few months, we partnered with a local restaurant in Bulawayo called Casa. It's a Brazilian steakhouse. So every Friday, if you own something from Deja Vu Apparel, you get to come and hang out with us and feel like you're part of something that's growing. And over the past few months, it's something that's benefited not just only us, but the restaurant itself. So we're selling the family thing, yes.
Affiliation.
Affiliation, thank you so much.
What about somebody who doesn't know the brand? What are you giving to them? Because, you know, I think the family unit has an assumption that there's a number of us who are in this already, who must then come in. What about a new customer who's coming in? What is your proposition? What is your unique proposition? What are you selling? What is it that you are offering them?
For starters, a fair price on our products. We'll start there. And then secondly, quality. We're quite big on quality. I think it's almost evident on our denim jackets there. And then another thing is we're sending them a sense of belonging. There's no, I might be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the casual wear space in Zimbabwe, there is no brand that we can say speaks to us as a nation. So in future, we want to try and be the Nike of Zimbabwe, the Adidas of Zimbabwe. So we'd love for people who are joining us to feel like they are part of that growing process for us. So I hope that answers your question, sir.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you my peace of mind, right? I think what I'm seeing and what you're trying to drive to are two different things. Zimbabwe is a grounded economy. It's a grounded people, mostly Christians, and you know, once you get out of the norm, you know, you are cautioned hardly, you know. Abalembego is Ndebele, right? Yeah. So at the end of the day, I'm seeing a contrast between your narrative, the family aspect, the societal integration aspect, and the communication that I'm getting there, which is pretty much the Brooklyn kind of vibe, you know, the rap kind of vibe, you understand? So at the end of the day, you as a business person also need to be clear to say, oh, you know what, I'm targeting the free-spirited people who are, you know, expressionalists, people who want to express themselves in different way in music and, you know, that kind of a thing.
Yes.
At the end of the day, that then probably can help you segment your market, design for that market, speak to that market, right? And I feel there's a disconnect now with who we are as a people and what you're trying to drive. But I'm not saying there's no market for that. That's my submission. And like you have clearly said, to say currently I'm not ready for export. So this is more of a program that wants to enhance export readiness, obviously. So I think if you are not ready, then I can't be ready on your behalf.
Understandable.
I'm going to slightly beg to differ from what Leslie has said. I think I'll pride myself a little in saying that maybe I understand the mentality of the AMA 2000s a little bit more. And like you said, they are trying to express themselves, but within the context of being Zimbabwean, having grown up under the people you described, but also wanting to take a step and show how different they are. And this is it. So just because he's got that on the t-shirt doesn't necessarily mean that he's saying that, but he may be feeling a certain type of way, but he wants to be free enough to express that. Not that he is that person.
If it was part of his speech, what exactly you're saying, then I was not going that's the issue that I'm talking about. So if he had pitched it the way you have, I think he needs to write notes. I think that's the... I don't have anything against.
But that's my interpretation of what he's brought to us
today.
And
that's the best explanation to whatever is happening here.
Okay.
But he's not carrying it with him.
Yes. Well, I did tell him the last time that he needed to be a whole lot...
Yes.
You tried, but you didn't come with it. You didn't come with it.
I'm getting there.
Almost, yeah. So, like Les says, I think you've benefited from the program. You've benefited from the technical interventions that have happened, right?
Yes.
And I think if you run this course again next year, you might be in a better place or better positioned to be more export ready. So for that, it's a not yet from me, and I hope to see you real soon again.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sakumuzi, I like the branding. Personally, I really like the graphic design. It's really on point. Yeah.
Totally, I agree.
Yeah. Even the jacket, the quality is undoubtedly very nice and very palatable. It's a yes for me.
Thank you. Please join the family.
I'm a creative, and I actually like your designs.
Thank you.
From a design perspective, you are onto something. What I don't know is that, are you pulling these images from the internet somewhere and just placing them, or are you thinking them up? How do you create that?
I've got a graphics designer for most of the things.
Okay.
So we take inspiration from online, and then we try and see how best you can fit whatever it is that we're trying to communicate.
And then thinking of it from an export perspective, what would you say would be your Zimbabwe selling factor on this?
The Zimbabwean selling factor.
Or it's just the ability to design? That's all you're selling?
Yes.
Is there something that links your designs to Zimbabwe that you would then want to export?
The origin of the brand itself should be Zimbabwean enough, or I want people to like it because it's a beautiful brand, not because it's a Zimbabwean brand. Yes.
Right. I see what you're doing, and I heard it in your pitch. You are trying to grow a brand and start growing it as almost like an international brand, because you mentioned Nike.
Yes.
For me, you have good design, and you're a creative. Unfortunately, you're not a marketer, and I think you should look for one. But you have had a good start. Export yet, I don't see it as something that would be that popular outside yet. I think grow your local market, see how the urban population of that age group or that target market is responding to it and how they are growing with it, and then think about export. So I'm going to say not yet.
Understandable.
So it's a not yet for me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
See you again soon.
Thank you.
The designs are good.
Yeah, very.
But,
Very good. What size is the fogolo?
My name is Kelly Ndlovu, the creative director and founder of Bantu Clothing. Our main and sole purpose is to bring out luxury wear in an ethnic manner, inspired by the culture and the traditions of Africa, the culture and the traditions of Zimbabwe. And when we got into the program, the Eagle's Nest program, we did not have a clear value proposition. We did not have a clear mandate as to what we were doing. We did not have a clear business plan. We had a lot of loopholes, but the training has given us a success story and we feel like we are ready. We've positioned ourselves very well into the market and we've had a short-term relationship with Edgar's to stock up our brand as Bantu, a local designer, for just a short period of time. So we feel like that short-term relationship we've had with Edgar's has positioned us well enough to be able to export to their other brands within the region. And I mean, with the current capacity that we have, we can manage to export even tomorrow. If we were to win the competition, I would honestly feel proud of myself because I've really pushed myself to the limit. From the first day we walked into the Eagle's Nest program, and what we see now is totally different. We have really grown as a brand. I've really grown as a personal brand because I believe that being the creative director of Bantu, that makes me a brand handler, that makes me the face of a brand at the same time. Today I'm here to share my progressive journey with Eagle's Nest and the impact it has had on our business. So first of all, I'll talk about our new collection that we're launching. My first pitch couldn't have come at a more perfect time because it came when we were developing our first collection and range. This meant we got to take in some feedback from the Eagle's Nest process in making this new collection. We took the time to dive deeper into understanding our target audience and refining our position in the market. So we've managed to create relationships with 3 young African influencers that are living in the UK. And we are consulting them in developing this new collection. Thanks to the suggestions during our last pitch, we have made a stronger effort to explore our locally made fabrics. I'm pleased to announce that the first collection will use at least 50% locally purchased high quality materials and fabric, which means we are now a truly proud Zimbabwean brand. So our second progressive state is we've managed to partner with a brand management agency. They are helping us to consult with our overall brand awareness and marketing activity as we work towards launching the new collection. So within that, the agency, they have given us space to create our showroom. So we have a showroom where we meet with the clients. And social media activity as well. When we first pitched at Eagle's Nest, we were not present on social media. But now, the agency has started developing our social media audience. We've managed to adopt a stronger technology appreciation as one of our value propositions as Bantu. This is evident in our client showroom experience and also our designing and manufacturing process. And e-commerce, the website is currently being developed by the marketing agency. Our bespoke custom tailoring, we've managed to get to an average of 3 to 5 orders, which are keeping the business afloat, while we are working on securing more bulk production deals like your CMT and the launch. Retail chain deal. So we are in a conversation with Zimbabwe's biggest retailer to supplying them This will help us see our designs being developed and also sold in their retail chains across the country. Thank you. That's my presentation for today.
Wonderful, 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 wonderful. I'm happy to see that you've taken away the advice and you've brought it to life. Nice to see the ethnicity in the new range, and that the fabrics are locally sourced. What I'm not seeing, and I think maybe you didn't mention it, what are we doing on our price point?
Okay, so this is the new collection. This is a hint of the new collection. The men's shirt is $70, price range of $70. The baby wear, it's a pack, so we're not selling them separately, we're selling them as a pack. It's $50. And then the ladies pack, it's $120. So you've got your throw over and the dress. These are two separate pieces, but they're a pack.
All right, that's a lot more palatable, right, than what we had the last time.
Yes,
is that
definitely.
due to the fact that you're locally sourcing, or that you've just decided to change your appetite for a higher markup?
It's actually cheaper to get fabrics locally. Last time we had said there are no pretty fabrics locally, but upon your advice, we then did some research and we found that we could create luxury, clean looking outfits with just local fabrics, local materials, just not fabrics only, but materials as well.
Excellent.
Yes, thank you.
How much do you make per month?
Per month, we make $400 to $600 a month for the corporate wear. And then the CMT orders, we have about 7K in revenue.
Come again?
The bespoke custom tailoring, which is what you're holding, is about $400 to $600 a month.
Okay.
And then your CMT, which is what she's holding, 7K in revenue.
Okay, so pretty much around 7.5 total.
Yes.
Okay, and what's your margin?
Our profit margin is an average of 40 to 60%.
40 to 60. How many people do you work with?
We've got 3.
3 people.
Yes.
Okay. So let's suppose you get an order of 50,000 today.
Yes.
Can you sustain it?
I could sustain it if I had working capital. But with my current capacity, because the current capacity is we have 10 machines which can produce 50 to 100 garments a day.
Okay. So pretty much we have got a monthly capability. I'm looking at about
15,000.
15,000. Okay.
Capability, yes.
All right. But currently we are operating at 7.5, which is pretty much about 50%.
I don't know if it's 50% because I got the capacity to employ 10 people on the machines, but I just only have 3.
What I was going to ask is, what is the margins on the corporate wear? Because I'm wondering why, if you're getting so much mileage off of the corporate wear, why are you spending any time on this? Do you project it to really grow to that amount?
Yes, we do. We do. We are sort of adopting the Gucci style, you know, Gucci, whereby it's an exclusive brand, but at the same time, they're producing numbers which are making more money. The profit margins for these are higher, by the way, but because we produce a few of them a month, it makes us hard to get more money. But the profit margins for corporate wear are less. But because they come in volumes at the present moment,
then it's sustaining the business.
Yes,
no,
it's all about sustaining the business.
It makes sense what she's saying, because this is uniquely you.
Yes.
This is Bantu.
Yes.
Corporate wear is pretty much generic.
Yes.
Somewhat of a cash flow to finance your Bantu.
Yes.
But I have a question about the brand.
Yes, sir.
Is it registered as a brand?
Yes, tax clearance certificate.
No, I'm not talking about the company. Have you registered the brand?
Not the brand. We registered the company.
I find that a bit concerning because it's a very common of a name. And because it's common, it's very difficult to own it.
Okay.
You might find there's 200 other Bantus out there. I'm loving the Bantu range, uniquely African, the ethnic.
Thank you.
The design work is good. Are you moving volumes of this? It doesn't sound like it.
No, she's only selling 300.
Could it be an issue of the pricing, or you're really just targeting a particular niche that is high-end, who have the money, and you don't care about whether it makes business sense or not?
The biggest issue currently is money, Because for me to produce that outfit, I have to purchase proper fabric.
Okay.
So getting access to that and the finances is difficult.
Can I ask something? Would you think there's a high uptake for your products?
Yes, ma'am. With the current research that we've done, clients, the demand is high, but the challenge we've been facing is exporting informally becomes a challenge. We once sent an outfit to a client, it got there after 2 months, it was lost along the way. So that informal distribution is bad for the brand. So
you know why I'm asking? Because
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
trying to follow where your money is getting lost along the way.
I think she's already taken a position on where she's placing herself in her market. She wants to be luxurious. She wants to be Zimbabwe's Gucci.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is there is a sort of like an oxymoron in the things that she's saying. Because on the one hand, she's saying that there's a high uptake.
Exactly.
And then on the other hand, she's saying it costs her $30 to make this and she can sell it for $70. So on an organic growth type of curve, you should be going up.
Exactly.
You don't actually need a financier. You don't actually need any monetizer, none whatsoever.
Okay.
So I'm trying to understand where your money is getting lost, because you are saying so many people want your products.
Yes.
And your profit margins are way, way, way above even the industry
Averages.
So there is something that is not.
I see a lot of potential. I love this range. I love your design work. I'm not sure about the exportability of your corporate wear, but the way you have explained it, if this was what you were selling and we were going forward with this, I would say you've got a chance. But this is still experimental and you haven't gone anywhere with it.
Are we exporting the corporate or the brand?
No, I think we are focusing on what we have shown us today, what we have brought, because I think you deliberately came with this because there's a story that you want us to get.
Yes.
If you wanted us to strike a balance between corporate, we should have seen overalls, lab coats and things like that.
Yeah. It's difficult to comment on something you've just started.
I think that's where we're missing it, hey? There's some products which are made for export. It's just simple. There is no local uptake because you're not going to find a person who's going to pay $70 in the local market for that. However, given her design capability, given her finish, given her choice of materials, her design, all of that, it's an exportable product.
Okay, so for me, I want to commend you for taking up what we advised you last time, because I remember your products were going for as high as $500, and now you've managed to bring them down to somewhat reasonable levels. I love the creativity. However, I have a problem with your numbers, and numbers don't lie. You are not getting your numbers right. It's a no for me.
Probably, I think Diana has been advocating for you throughout from the time you stepped there. Maybe she's seeing something that I have not seen, so I'll stand on the existing protocols. And probably, I think the creativity is there. And probably I'll give you this opportunity so that we also then see how it works out, right? But I think there's a lot that you need to do.
Okay, tell you what, we'll give you the benefit of doubt. I think only because I love your art and potential, basically potential. Your figures are a mess. It makes us doubt your credibility in terms of what you're giving us. But if you do well in terms of getting the brand registered, I think this can be exportable, to be honest. And if you get your pricing models right, and so I think for now, I'll just push you through because I'm a creative. And I love your art, and basically just on that, not on anything else in terms of what you have done and the export that we've seen before. So basically, because of that, I think I'll just convert my neutral to a yes.
3 yeses. Yay!
Thank you. I will improve.
So this is her summer range, summer 2023 range. Next year it will be something else if this doesn't work out.
Yeah,
You know?
but the designs are good.
But they're really good.
There's no
You know
There's
doubt.
an uptake.
I think her strength is in design. She might then need to look for implementing partners.
Yeah.
Marketing.
There are people who can pretty much
Propel
run she does the designs, and then she send the designs for production.
Yeah.
You can't do it all alone.
Yeah, you can't.
Winning the competition would be excellent because it would then give us that openness to the market, the openness to export, the openness to getting finances as well. It would actually be a good portfolio for us as a brand.
Next is Buhle from Retrovis. In her first presentation, Buhle Benkosi impressed the judges with her unique products.
I want to commend you for all the community initiatives around your business. I like the fact that you're saying all the right things about what you're doing for the community, about how the products are green, and about how the products are cognizant of the environment. It's a definite yes for me.
So going on to the feedback from my last meeting, Diana had mentioned that she'll be keeping an eye on the order that was supposed to go to the United States of America. I'm happy to let you know that we managed to fulfill more than half of that order. We're now working on the final 20. And then with regards to the technical interventions, the meetings that we had, there was a concern was raised with regards to my administration. As a creative, administration is not my strong point. So to deal with that, I have managed to secure a casual lady who comes in once every week to sort out the administration in terms of sorting out the orders with regards to which ones should be dealt with first, sorting out the stock issues of the raw materials, what colors do we have and all that stuff, sorting out also the general administration with regards to pending orders, what needs to be done and what has been done, deliveries and everything else. And then there was also an issue of, due to the lack of the limitation with regards to the raw material supply in Zimbabwe, the source that is there currently is pricey. So as a result, I've had to source from South Africa. But because of the lead times, it was causing a delay in deliveries. So it was suggested that I try and get in bulk. Once off bulk, that will be replenishing as and when we go. So I have managed to speak to Pretoria Wool North, which is in South Africa, and we have come to an agreement that I'll be able to buy in bulk, maybe with the possibility of a discount. And I've also managed to buy from China, which I have sea shipped. We're expecting the consignment to get here probably first week of November, which will be bulk yarn. And it was also raised that that can also help me supply other crafters, so which will then also improve my margin, my profit with regards to the business as a whole. And then my digital footprint wasn't that good at that time. So I have managed to separate my Instagram account from my personal and created Wooked by Ubuhle Instagram account, which currently has about 53 followers. And we have also managed to open a TikTok account to improve on our digital presence. An e-commerce website was suggested, and I had planned to register a Shopify store, but I'd hit a glitch with regards to payment gateways. There was a problem with payment gateways, but EcoBank has alerted me that they have a facility that can help in that regard. So we will be working on our online store with the help from EcoBank with regards to the payment gateways. Thank you. I think for now, and also the issue of intellectual property. It was raised that I need to research or get a headway with regards to intellectual property. So I had spoken to Aripo, and they had mentioned that I need about 1,700 for a regional trademark and about 5,400 for an international trademark. So once we've managed to raise the funds, we will create a specific doll that we're going to trademark and possibly do bigger things with the trademarked one.
So you say the cotton, the local cotton is expensive?
The local cotton, they do not make yarn with the local cotton. They process fabric.
Oh, okay.
With our local cotton. So we have to import
the yarn.
The yarn,
okay.
Yes.
Was it not done before? Or...
At some point, I think a few years back,
okay.
it was. But then because of the profitability, not many people were using it. So they stopped the production and they focused on the fabric.
On the fabric. No, that's fine. I actually like the story. And I think the color also is also trying to give a bit of identity to the young black girls, right?
Yes. And also with regards to numbers, the process is quite a long process. Currently, as of, I think, the most recent ones, we have made a turnover of 6,000 in a year. That is about, because they retail at about $20, $25. Well, recently we've had to increase the price because of South Africa is also facing challenges with regards to supply of yarn. So they increased. We've also had to increase the prices. So they were retailing at $20 and we were making about 300 in a year.
Okay, so what is if we want to assume we want to then take it back to like $3, what is it that we can do, or $5 a doll? Because I'm thinking every kid should have ubuhle because of the story that you have just shared. But for $30 is like, not many would afford. What is it that needs to be done for us to then kind of lower our prices and make it more affordable?
I think the niche thing for her is that it's handmade, right?
Yes.
So a $3 something or $5 something would most likely be something which is mass-produced by machinery and not have
can you not buy a machine from China and probably produce more of the ubuhle dolls and make sure every kid has it, and make it accessible? Is it not possible?
So far, there is no machine that can do crochet.
Okay.
It's only done, but even China hasn't come up with a machine that can do crochet. But I think because of the rise in trends, maybe something in the near future will be coming.
Okay.
Looking at your doll, I'm not sure, because of course this is just a sample. Do you have different colors, perhaps some that reflect the African origin of the product? I'm thinking of export. What are your color ranges? What exactly do you sell that is sort of like originally Zimbabwean? We're looking at export right now, right? Yes. Well, what would make it exclusively Zimbabwean? What would make it stand out as a Zimbabwean product?
As we will be now incorporating the Zimbabwean colors probably on the dresses, because initially they were white. So because of the outcry from the people that we have supplied before, they requested that they wanted the African identity incorporated. We then went to the brown. So now for the Zimbabwean incorporation, we will now be working probably with the Zim colors, because the idea is when we have that trademarked doll, we can then have it printed on fabric. And then we go into the merchandise, just like how Mickey Mouse has been done. We go into the clothes that have that brand, that Zimbabwean colors and all the works.
Okay, so you're telling me, in terms of competitive intelligence, have you checked if anybody else is doing handmade dolls out there? Have you had a scan of your competition, had a look not only locally but even regionally? Is there anybody else doing this?
Yes, there are people who are doing them, but the uniqueness of the selling point of the doll is the uniqueness. There are no two hands that are the same. and the story behind the doll is what differentiates it. For example, there is a lady, Gogo Olive. She does knitted dolls. She works with an NGO. They come here, they take their dolls and they go and sell them in the United States of America. So from them, what they say is that the people, they don't buy the doll, they buy the story. There's a little card that she attaches to her dolls that tells her story and how it's empowering or changing people's lives. It's not easy to enter into if you don't have a story.
So where is your card?
Sorry?
Where is the card? Where is your story? You know exactly what needs to be done, right? For this kind of market, and where is the story?
The story is in the it's in the branding process. We're working
but
on.
We should have also given us the doll with a story attached to it, because that's what your business is. That's what your value proposition is around. Because to me, I'm thinking of, this is beautiful. To be honest with you, as I use probably half of my salary to buy my kids toys, but you buy them today, the next day they are gone. Yeah, we know which country these toys come from, right? So having this replacement is a good thing. But I'm also thinking about accessibility to a lot of people. That's why I was thinking about machines. I was thinking, but you guys pulled me back to say, no. When we are in this industry, no machines. It's about the stories, about the affection, it's about the feelings, it's about the vibe,
Sentiment,
right?
yeah.
But now that you know what needs to be done and it's not there, and it's very worrying to me.
What is your capacity? How many do you produce per month of these?
On a day, I produce like 1 a day, but then I managed to work with 10 ladies. We produce as per order. We had an order for 200, which we managed to do, I think, in about 2 to 3 months.
And are you able to scale this up?
We can if we get more people.
So hers is also a bit of a social enterprise,
Yes.
because then she gets to teach other ladies.
Probably this can be sort of, she can come up with a mental health class, for children who go through abuses or, that kind of a thing.
And then therapy.
This then comes as a therapy to it. And then you attach the service, the door becomes a complementary to the, and then probably it helps on the profitability of the business, because there are only two ways. You say that you go that route or you scale. Because listen, Africa is opening up. It's going to be just one market, through the Africa Free Trade. You understand?
Yes.
So at the end of the day, if you don't have the scale, if you don't have the good price point, if you don't have the, it will be a big problem.
Buhle, I'm really torn in between, and I really need you to help me, because I'm seeing this as more of a social enterprise in terms of your customer. I haven't seen that many people with this doll anyway in Zimbabwe. Like, who is your customer?
So currently my customers are their mothers that will be buying for their children. In Bulawayo, I supply the orange elephant, and they've recently opened a branch in Victoria Falls. So it's the, no racism, but it's the white people. They are the ones that have bought most of the dolls.
Okay, I think for me it's a not yet, gravitating to a no, because I think there is some work that you need to put in, especially to grow the numbers and to also bring in a like real profitability onto this thing. You need to scrap your costs. Your costs are a bit too high. Your level of profitability, I'm not so sure whether you got that right. It's
So if you remember from last time, there was, I also had a bit of clothes, which is where the concept of trademarking comes in, where you create like a Mickey Mouse, but we create our own African version of that doll.
Bushe,
It pushes
but by
them.
now, if that's the trajectory you're going to go on, I would expect that you've named your doll by now, and you've got a specific doll that you're focusing all of your attention on by now, even though it's not trademarked. if that's the way you're saying you're going to scale the business. All right. For me, I'm going to give you a yes because you are already exporting. So it's a yes from me. So, yeah.
Okay, I don't see branding on this, any of your products. Do you brand them? Labeling and branding?
We are working on the branding.
Okay. My last question would be, you talked about exporting 200. Besides that, have you exported anything else?
Besides the 200, yes,
Yeah.
but it's been in singles.
You have a good concept. You have a good product, but when I'm looking at it from a business perspective, especially in terms of export, and trying to see how that will work and how sustainable it will be, I would say no, for the reason that in terms of export promotion, it's going to take a lot more for you to be able to make a lot of money from this and contribute to the fiscus. And it's not something you can do immediately before you get things like the trademarking, the branding, and the story behind this, because it seems like it's a niche kind of a product. So for that reason, it doesn't seem to me like there is an immediate huge potential that can grow that big, that I would push to the next level in terms of finals for this program. But not saying there's no potential, not saying that you don't have a business. I think I would say carry on doing it. It's something that will come through perhaps after many more years of working towards really just making Ubuhle doll a well-known child brand. For that reason, I'll say no for now.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
It's the end of the road for Bushle. The judges have concluded that the toy business is not yet ready for markets beyond the borders. We hope to see her back in the nest soon. Tonight, Bantu Clothing have made it to the final round. They now stand a chance to be awarded an export development package. A grand season finale will be hosted by Zimtrade and EcoBank in partnership with UN Women.